Hi kind friends! This is probably the first video in a few that I'll do on National Novel Writing Month, aka NaNoWriMo. I talked about this a bit last year because it was my first year participating and I was so excited about it, but basically the idea, if you haven't heard of it before, it's you go to the website nanowrimo.org, sign up, and you participate in a month-long event to write a novel in 30 days. Now, for the sake of this challenge, they've decided on 50,000 words, so that's about 1,600 words a day. I don't remember exactly, but it's just a really exciting way to motivate yourself to finish a first draft and to just have fun with writing and get more people to participate creatively in, a hobby like this. So I'm very excited about it, and I just saw that Christina Horner put up a video called the NaNoWriMo tag. I watched about half of it and then I'm like, hang on, let me just pause this and film my answers and then go back to it because I just got really excited to film and I was like, I need to do it now. So I'm gonna read her questions and we're gonna have a grand old time. So how many times have you done NaNoWriMo? This will be my second time participating. I first participated last year and I got to about 36,000 words. I don't remember exactly. Through some weird glitch, my NaNoWriMo profile says that I won, which winning means that you just got to 50,000 words, but I didn't, so I don't know what happened there. Question number 2, how did you first find out about NaNoWriMo? I found out because of Christina Horner. In 2013, I saw her vlogs on it and I thought that it was such a great idea, but I had just moved into my first apartment because we moved in October 2013. So I was like, I don't know if I really have the time to commit to it at that time because I was busy putting a house together. And then when I saw her talking about it again in 2014, she said something along the lines of, a lot of you have been saying, maybe next year, maybe this should be the year. And I was like, this should be the year. So in November 2014, I did NaNoWriMo. And I also got married and went on my honeymoon. So I kind of rocked. So I was very proud of myself for getting to 36,000 words while also putting together the last bits of my wedding, getting married, and then going on a week-long honeymoon. I'm really pats on back, good for me. So, question number 3. What is the name of the first novel you attempted with Nano? I should have had this ready because it's a really long title. I'm super proud of the title because it's really adorable. But when I started the second draft, I did shorten it down a little bit. Hi, kitty. Yeah? You want to be in the video? Yeah? Hi. Hey, sweetie. You want to be here? Come here. Say hi. Last time she was on camera, she was a baby. So this was the title of my first Nano book, and I think it's pretty cool. So, The Enchanting, Unbelievable, Quirky, and Occasionally Frightening Jean Journal of Juniper Collins, aka The Story of Last Night. I eventually, in the second draft, I changed it to Juniper Collins and the Kind of Zombie Apocalypse. It's shorter and easier to remember, but I think that this sounds really cool. Question number 4. Give us a one-sentence summary of what you're writing this year. This year, I'm actually attempting, because I only started writing creatively, frequently since the last NaNoWriMo, so I don't have a lot of, I have a writing background, obviously, and now I'm a freelance writer, but I don't have as much experience with telling a story from beginning to end. So I really wanted to work on building my experience this year and kind of learning more about the craft. So this year I'm actually attempting several short stories and a few other projects. I'm entering a few writing competitions that are short story based. I'm entering some poetry competitions, and I'm also, of course, working on Haley the Imperfect Girl, which is my verse novel that I have up on Wattpad. Well, I have part of the first draft up on Wattpad and I'm slowly adding to it. I have more chapters than what I've uploaded, but I haven't gotten around to putting up the new chapters recently. But I am continuing to work on that. But since it's a verse novel, it's not going to be anywhere near 50,000 words. But yeah, so I'm focusing a lot on short stories this year, and I'm very excited about it. I have about 6 different short story ideas, and I've started working a little bit on brainstorming them, so I'm very excited about that, and I think it's going to really help me learn more about plot development and character development and working just with writing, so I'm very excited about it. Question number 5, what's the best writing advice you've ever been given? The best writing advice I've ever been given is actually from Ava J. I've mentioned her in a few other videos. She says that all writers need to read, and read in the genre that you are writing for. And I think that that's incredibly helpful because you need to understand the dynamics of the kind of story you want to tell before you can accurately tell it. So I think that writers do need to read. There was another writing quote that I read. I don't remember who it's from, but they said, if you don't have time to read, you don't have time to write. And I think that that's very true. If you want to be an author, you really need to be a reader. Number 6, did you ever take a year off from Nano? Why? Not really. I guess in 2013 I heard about it and I didn't attempt it, but I don't think that counts as a year off. So no, this is my second year. Number 7, what's your biggest inspiration when figuring out what to write? For me, oddly, it's names. I know that sounds really weird, but like if I just hear a certain name, I usually imagine a story for that name. So I have like just a list of like 15 names that I really like and little blurbs about what I think that person's character is. But oddly, it's usually names or phrases. I'll hear a phrase and immediately a story will pop into my head. So it's kind of just my experiences in day-to-day life. I encounter something and I make up a story for it. Number 8, read us the first sentence from one of your novels. So this isn't one that I've written yet, but the first sentence really stood out to me, and it was actually from a dream. That's another thing that I get inspiration from. My dreams are a big inspiration because they're just weird. So this sentence is, what I call singing, wizards call magic. And that really stuck with me. It was something that I said in my dream, and then when I woke up, I was like, oh my god, I have to write that down. And then I just kept thinking about it the whole day, and now I have a whole backstory about that. But it's going to be, like, that project is going to be a big world builder. I'm going to have to, like, not as grand as Lord of the Rings, but it's going to be a huge undertaking for me. So right now, just whenever I get ideas for it, I write it down, but I haven't attempted it yet because I want to kind of feel more into my writing style first. And I guess save it. This one really needs me to delve a lot of time in it. Like I feel like for me to really make that world work, I'd have to already be like a full-time author. So it's on the back burner for now, but I always am like thinking about it and writing ideas down for it. Number 9, why do you love writing? This has to go, well, firstly, I've always been a creative person since birth. I've always been doing something creative in all kinds of ways. Like I've had too many creative hobbies, honestly. So it always kind of was in me, just that spirit of creativity and just, you know, making something out of nothing. That's always been there. And I've always turned to poetry to express my feelings. But when it came to actually writing a novel, like explaining a story from start to finish, that is honestly a recent development. It's something that started shortly before NaNoWriMo. I had an idea that I was working on, but NaNoWriMo really just put that through me, and I don't know, it's this quote from Maya Angelou that really means a lot to me. There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story. And I just feel like there's a lot of stories in me, and I can't wait to, you know, share them. So anyway, that is why I write. So thank you all so much for watching this NaNoWriMo tag. I definitely want to see your responses, and even if you have never considered NaNoWriMo before, it's still a great time to start writing. Even if you don't get to 50,000 words, most people don't, but it's still a really fun experience to kind of delve into your mind and to make new friends. One thing that Christina said in another NaNoWriMo video is that NaNoWriMo turns writing, what is generally considered a solitary activity, into a group event nationwide, and I think that that's beautiful, and I love participating in it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you consider NaNoWriMo. If you have a NaNoWriMo account, feel free to add me below. I'm one of the participants. You can have my link there, and we can just hang out and talk about writing. So I will see you all very soon, and I hope that you're doing well. Bye.